Hi guys, welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. We're at the Belfry again today. We're in the TaylorMade Fitting Centre, and the video today is looking at the 3-wood and how we can hit the ball better from the fairway. I often see golfers fairly comfortable hitting the 3-wood from a small tee, but when it goes onto a tight lie, maybe the fairway, something like that, they struggle a lot more with contact and flight a little bit. They tend to flight the ball quite low. So there's a couple of things that we're going to go through which are going to help that. A lot of what I see is concept. They're often trying to do the wrong thing, and that can lead them down into some positions which doesn't really work too well with the club we're hitting. So there's a couple of different factors. I mean, this is going to be the longest club that we feasibly hit from the ground. 43 is going to be about the length of your 3-wood, so it's quite a long club. We don't have the ball teed up, so it is more difficult. But as I say, there's certainly a few things that I see in golfers which can help them maybe hit some better shots. So let's look at what I tend to see golfers do and why that's maybe not so useful when we're hitting the 3-wood off the ground. I will see a lot of golfers say things to me like, I'm trying to sweep this ball into the air. I'm giving it a feeling of trying to sweep the floor. A lot of golfers will say things like, I'm trying to hit it like my driver. And these are things which sort of flag up for me, and it gives me a little bit of an idea as to what they're going to be doing through impact and how that's maybe going to affect the shot. If we're trying to sweep the ball into the air too much, or if we're trying to treat this like a driver, what that's going to mean is that the low point is going to be slightly too far this side of the golf ball. If the low point is slightly this side, it means that we are probably going to have a positive attack angle, which means that as we hit the golf ball, the club has begun to rise. Now, why is that important? Well, we tend to see, when that happens, contacts where the club hits the ground too early. And if it doesn't hit the ground too early, we tend to find that we can top the ball. Or if we don't top it, we'll generally get contacts which are very, very low in the club face. And that's going to be important a little bit later when we come to talk about strike. But those are the shots we see. Low contacts, thin, and maybe slightly heavy shots. What do we see from the best players in the world? Well, they tend to hit the 3-wood with a slightly descending blow. Now, when we say slightly descending, it's nowhere near what it would be for like a 7-iron. A 7-iron might be sort of 4 or 5 degrees down, which is why you'd see generally a divot. With the 3-wood, we're looking at maybe half a degree to a degree down. So certainly, a little bit of a difference there. It's a lot more level, but it is still a little bit down. If we hit down on the golf ball, that does a couple of things. One, it means that there's less chance of us hitting the ground early. But two, it tends to mean that we're able to hit the ball higher in the club face. As a general rule, the shallower we approach the golf ball, or if we start to hit up, we are going to find the contact is low. If we tend to hit more down, we are able to hit the ball higher in the face. It doesn't mean it will, but we are able to hit the ball higher in the face. Now, with a 3-wood, we've got bulge and roll, which means the club face is not actually flat, it's got some shape to it. That means we're going to have some sort of gear effect when we hit the golf ball. The higher we hit the golf ball in the club face, the higher the ball will launch. And that's a really, really important concept for a lot of golfers to understand. If you are a very shallow golfer who's quite shallow into the ball, your contacts are going to be towards the bottom. That's going to create a very low launch angle. Even on those good shots that you feel you've swung well, the ball's going to go out quite low. We're not going to get as much distance. I want you to try and hit this ball higher in the club face. That's going to give you a higher launch and more distance. So we actually want to feel that we're hitting slightly down. Now, when I say slightly down, if we did this off turf, you wouldn't be taking a divot. We're not steep enough that we're going to remove any earth, but a feeling of slightly down will give us better impact conditions and a better shot. It's quite a difficult concept for golfers to understand that to hit more down, you will get a higher ball flight, but it will happen. Obviously, if we hit too much down, we're going to get ramifications of that, but a little bit of a descending blow through impact will give you much, much better contact and much, much better flight and distance. So, little test. T-peg, it's just a broken T-peg, works best, and just place it around about 3 to 4 inches in front of the golf ball. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just going to make my normal 3-wood swing, and what we should find happens is I hit the golf ball and the T-peg gets hit as well by the golf club. So let's have a go at that first and just see what happens. So normal setup, and just going to hit my normal 3-wood that I would off the ground. Okay, so pretty happy with that shot. Flight was pretty good, felt like a pretty good strike, and as you can see, the T-peg has gone. So I've hit the golf ball, the club has stayed down, and it's made contact with the T-peg. If you are struggling to hit the 3-wood off the ground, you may well find that you can hit, a good 4 or 5 shots in a row, and the T-peg will still be there. Because the low point, as I say, is a little bit too early, we might make contact with the golf ball, but the club is rising up over the T-peg, as opposed to staying down and feeling that we get the club a little bit lower on the way through. So it's a really, really simple drill to do, but it's going to give you some great feedback as to what you're actually doing through impact. And if we can try and change that, we should be able to change the contact point. And if we do that, we're going to get the ball launching higher, and we're going to get more distance as a result. This technique will then work best if, when we do get a chance to tee the ball up, we use quite a small tee. What we don't want to do is start using a larger tee peg, because then you're almost going to have two golf swings, one where you've got the ball on the ground and one where you've got it raised up on a tee peg for a 3-wood, and that's kind of difficult. So practice hitting them off the ground, use this drill, get good at hitting golf ball and tee peg, and then when you do get a chance to peg that ball up on a par 4 or something, use a very, very small tee peg. You're then able to use the same golf swing, and it's much more consistent. So thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Post any comments down below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. All these videos are free. They're designed to help you play better golf, educate you a little bit more with what you're trying to do, and just generally enjoy the game more. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.